Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time we began Case 3, making our way finally to London here with Susato, and we met Mal Strongheart, who is the Lord Chief Justice here in London. And he's assigned us a case to work with here, a murder trial. Anyway, we have yet to investigate the scene, or rather, like, even meet the accused. Let's go ahead and see what they're doing. I assume that's what we're doing here. Gotta go to the Old Bailey, London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past, the Old Bailey. This is where I'm to take my test to prove my worthiness as a lawyer. Let's get there. Oh, this is just the court. I would have thought there would have been, like, an investigation. Like, investigation scene, but oh well. It seems like we might just go straight into court again. Oh, thank goodness, we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Wow, we really are just jumping right into it. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from Herlock Sholmes stories, and it works quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. Interesting. So, this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Of course I'm not alright! I don't even know the case! I'm feeling tense, that's all. I don't even know the defendant. I don't know anything about this. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man your defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. I have to say he's quite screwed. Top it to the morning to you, madam, sir. Oh, hello there. I'm trying to think about what kind of voice to give this guy. I mean, granted, my voices aren't very different from each other. I'm not a voice actor. What are you doing following me here? Things all fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionist faces? From the East, are you? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do you need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself. So I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Miss Susato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I'd like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I've enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Yeah, you're telling me. You could buy London and he's quote-unquote saving for a rainy day. Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. No, of course we can! Ah! That hit me in the eye! That looked quite cool, I gotta say. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving up, no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. Oh, what a coincidence. We're your lawyers. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'll be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I can't imagine why he would make it up, but that's besides the point. I'm terribly sorry to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bluster and blazes! Do you not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names? No, sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see. Fresh off the boat. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Oh, just next to Hyde Park, there in the center of London, is another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? Yeah, what are you talking about? It's called McGilded Park. Full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London. A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing, I mean, really extraordinary. Oh, but! Oh man, this guy can really get angry. Now they go to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal! Me, Magnus McGilded! What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Alright, don't pass out. Jeez, man, just calm down. Just calm down. Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. Gilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft Egypt? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering just to stand up there next to you. Yeah, I'll do you one better. I'll get you off the hook. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. This chancer of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. Well, if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it! That's the only explanation. Well? Well... I don't know, something is suspicious here. I think it's just because it's an open and shut case. Let's just say not at all here. Like, it must have been really obvious to the police officers that he did it. Not at all, although it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean. That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry? Did he just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barak von Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. Ah, I see. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? Death himself has come to kill you, McGilded. When von Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached a desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in the defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. How come there's no or like, I don't know, like court-appointed lawyers to defend people? That's kind of strange. Goodness, Lord Barak von Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned! And his counsel. Please make your way to the courtroom. The trial's about to begin. His counsel? That would be me! They're talking about me! Oh, 'tis time! Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I made up me mind. So I had. Sorry. I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? What do you mean, how would that have worked? You've done it yourself, my man. But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident. I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo. The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Cosmo would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. Alright, let's get in there. I'll be right there. I wonder, is she gonna be with me now? Is she gonna be my Maya in this game? It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Cosmo. Because I'm totally gonna win this. Because I have no idea how I'm gonna manage this. Alright, let's see that prosecutor. Is she? I really hope she's gonna be next to me. And not the dude. Where's the judge at? They're getting on me, getting on my case for being late, and there's no judge. Oh, hang on a second. What is that? There's like 6 people there. Is that like a jury? So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. I really do like how she's standing next to me. That's really cool. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Oh, I still got the crazy eyes. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. Oh, dang. He looks scary. Oh, that's a nice design on the judge there. He's looking quite dapper. Probably should do another deep voice for the judge as well. Or this judge, I should say. In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Man, what do I even do for this guy's voice? Should I do kind of just like a suave voice for him? The prosecution is fully prepared. I know, I can't, I'm not good with voices, guys, I'm sorry. That must be the Reaper of the Old Bailey. The Old Bailey! He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. It looks like he's about to pull out a gun, honestly. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. I couldn't be further from why can't I read? And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me. Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubts, your trepidation. Then run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh! A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Yeah, you don't need to remind him. I'm sure everyone knows that. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? Wow, that's racist. As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fellow's a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded, what a fine gentleman London has in them. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, may we go and play in McGilded Park? I was a child speaking that. It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news. But he certainly has a way with words. It's definitely the opposite of what it's been in the past Ace Attorney games, where everyone has it out for us. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you. Oh, so there is a jury! It's so cool, there's never been a jury in these other Ace Attorney games. How is this guy allowed a knife in the courtroom, though? Like, what the heck? Like, what the actual heck? How is that allowed? That you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Oh my gosh. I have to do 6 different voices. Yes, my lord, if the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Ha! Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. She doesn't speak at all, okay. I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these bits for my grandson. I think you should be paying attention, ma'am. Like someone's life is on the line here. Mr. Naruhodo, these people are... The jury. Yes, that's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. Wait, what? The judge passes sentence according to the law. So who's the final judgment here? So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdicts? That I don't know, but... How do you study law for 50 days and you don't know how jurors work? What? Excuse me? I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. I feel like that's important. We should know about that. Prosecutor Von Zeeks! My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you renounced your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I like him so far. Seems pretty cool. I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Well, you wouldn't have a job if that was the case, my man. Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. What do you mean, I think? Don't you know how these things work, Judge? A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, there is a case of overwhelming simplicity. Oh, this is a case. You must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening. 3 days passed. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Sorry? Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Oh, dang. Knife to the chest. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus. Omnibus? What is that? I've never seen that word before. In an omnibus. In service on the streets of London at the time. I assume it's just like a carriage or something, right? A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. I might just do my more normal voice for him, because I imagine I'm going to be talking quite a bit. I don't want to strain my voice too hard. Plus, I don't imagine he's going to have like that too deep of a voice anyway. Because that's what I'm imagining anyway. Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. Oh, we get a proper autopsy report now. Cool. It gives the cause of death as an internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. Not blood loss, internal hemorrhaging. Well, I guess that is a form of blood loss, isn't it? Crime scene photograph. Photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partly obscured from a view by an old crooked hat. Is that important? Why was that mentioned? And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are? Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilded gloves had blood on them? Can we confirm that, or it's not just strawberry jam? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. I assume we don't have blood testing yet in this, like, time period. Like, we can't test that this is his blood and this is actually blood. I assume so, right? There's no, like, DNA evidence in this time period. How did I get into this? I backed into a corner before I've even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2. Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brick maker, Mr. Mason. How convenient that his name is Mr. Mason and he is in fact a Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded? Was he asleep? What? To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. Well, whatever, I'm in a carriage. Take it with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lit and so it is, and when I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life. You've never laid eyes on him? So is this like, is an omnibus kind of like, I don't know, like a bus, but like only 2 people big? Like they don't get on together, they kind of... Huh, that's kind of strange. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give that man a hand. So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the drivers is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it. There are multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Jane, juror number 4 is like a stenographer too, it looks like. Order! 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 When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Well, can we establish a motive here? Like, why would he kill him? Why would the richest man in the world, presumably, like, just stab a person he never met? Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses, first of all. Your wish is my command. Oh, epic pose. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. No, this is another case of several witnesses at once, I see. Dude, that guy is freezing to death. Ah, we got 3 of them. Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name as well. Everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Oh, he's the driver. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name's First. Lady First. Okay, I get it. Hang on, let me try and get the puns out of the way. Beppo. What's his last name? Because, you know, all the names have to be puns. Bruce Fairplay. Bruce Fairplay. Bruce Fairplay. What is the pun there? Bruce Fair. Bruce Fair. Bruce Fair. Bruce Fair. Bruce for play. I don't see it in that one. I mean, this guy's pun is very obvious, right? Ladies first. I am make hats for gents. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. What the witnesses saw. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Where were you guys standing? Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. Well, I guess what they're describing, what actually happened is the moment he woke up and like, oh, I gotta stop this guy from bleeding out, and put his hands on his chest, you know? That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. I couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Unambiguous... Oh, wait. Unambiguous testimony, I thought that said anonymous for a second. But no, that's unambiguous. Okay. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Can the question please be, what is an omnibus? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Yeah, is it like open? Like, how can people see in? Well, in that case, how could those 2 witnesses possibly have seen what happened? How does the driver even see what happens? There's no way they could have seen the inside of a moving carriage. Yeah, something tells me Ryunosuke just made an absolute fool of himself there. Because he doesn't understand omnibuses like I do. How quaint. I've read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. Well, you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. What? What do you mean? The actual scene? How? Does he have it here in the court today? The carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today. In this very building! Here? What? The entire carriage? Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus. Oh my gosh! Okay, I see what it is now. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. 8 passengers? What? Oh, there's another deck above it. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best view of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. That's so cool. Where does the driver sit? And I should point out to our foreign guests, there's a skylight too! Oh my gosh, that's so amazing! That there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Ah, a skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. Well, why didn't they say that? I thought they were just standing on the street looking at it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. This is so cool. That is the prosecution's wish. Maybe we don't have to do an investigation portion to this case, because we got all the investigation we need right here, assuming the crime happened in the bus, of course. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. I want to examine this so badly. I can't believe it! The entire crime scene entered as evidence. Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. Well, I think this is just a matter of circumstance, you know? I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Let us continue with proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Humph. Pray don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of British courts' cross-examination rights. Why, are they different from what we just did in Japan? Alright, my first cross-examination in a British court. Oh my, why did you do that again, man? I don't like that. Focus, Ryunosuke, focus! Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to leave the episode here for today. Next time, we'll definitely give that omnibus, a once-over, and also proceed with the cross-examination here. I quite like how things are going so far. This is amazing. I love this. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day, guys. Bye!